Zell Duncan asking him the questions there on ESPN yesterday, who has been breaking the stones of our good friend Kevin Agandi. But as far as Woj goes, he's exactly right. I know that the anger, oh my God, get him out of here. I am still very much of the school that Ben Simmons is a jump shot and consistent free throw shooter away from being a legit NBA MVP contender. A legit, not just he got like one fourth place vote and he's on the list, right, with Joel Embiid. I'm talking about he is one consistent jump shot, one consistent free throw away from being a legit MVP contender. I am not just giving that away. And I think Woj puts it perfectly. Winning with him might be better than trying to bring in something. It might be better than what you could get back in a trade for him and trying to win with that. I think giving him another year is better than having CJ McCollum here. And I know that's like the hot name. That's not Dame Lillard. Oh, no, you can't get Dame Lillard. So maybe it's CJ McCollum. I'm like, CJ McCollum isn't turning this franchise around. You know what could turn this franchise? Not turn this franchise around, but at least put him to the next level. Get him to the Eastern Conference Finals. Get him to an NBA final. Ben Simmons with a jump shot. Ben Simmons with a free throw. I don't know how a professional athlete can go into an offseason after the way they lost in the playoffs and not change the following year. Because this wasn't Jimmy Butler's 76ers. This wasn't Ben Simmons' first trip to the postseason, 1 point against the Celtics trip to the playoffs. This was Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid's team. And Ben Simmons came up minuscule in this game. You had one guy playing with a torn meniscus. You had one guy playing like he didn't have a heart. Like that's really what it looked like to me. It looked like, hey guys, all I gotta do here is play defense, right? All right, well, that's it. Don't ask me to do anything else because you know I'm not that good at that other stuff. So just ask me to do the thing that I know I can do and I'm most comfortable doing. And everything else, I'll defer to you guys. Even if it's me under the basket, ready for a dunk, scared as all hell that Danilo Gallinari is gonna block my dunk. Now that I won't do. I'll just defer that to the guy that's playing second year in the league, Matisse Thybulle. That's what I'll do. That's extremely disheartening just to watch the entire way that Ben Simmons played. And really, if an athlete can't come back from that after an offseason of trying to improve his game and be better than that, then he absolutely has no heart. It's not just a bad series. It's not just bad playoffs. It's just not a mental block. It's a willingness to get better at it. If you could teach some 8th grade kid to shoot free throws, I'm pretty sure you could teach somebody that's making $177 million. I'm pretty sure you can teach a professional athlete to do it as well, especially if you have all these minds like Sam Cassell and you have Doc Rivers surrounding them for an offseason. Then I would really hope that a willing participant would actually put in the work to go do it. And as much as I want to say that I have seen Ben Simmons put in work and I've seen him out there in pregame warmups, I've seen him there at practice, put in the work to get better. The proof's not in the pudding, unfortunately. You're not seeing the fruits of his labor really coming out here at all. So I'd rather just, if you can't go get a superstar for Ben Simmons, if you can't get Ben Simmons out of here along with picks and maybe Tyrese Maxey to bring in somebody that is going to be a superstar next to Joel Embiid, a guy like Dame Lillard, for instance, then I'm out. I'm not just making a trade just to make a trade. And unfortunately, I think that's where a lot of people are at. Maybe this guy, for instance, because we're at this point. I see some people referencing Barstool. Yeah, maybe we'll talk to Smitty tomorrow, but we're at the Ben Simmons jersey burning part. And is this Xfinity? I think that's Xfinity Live. I could be wrong, but that's the point we're at right now, folks. And thanks to Barstool for finding that fine item, because that's where we're at right now. Isn't that fun? So I told you earlier, I was looking around at awful postseason performances. And wouldn't you know it, Ed Barkowitz of Inquirer.com just put together a story on that. And I was scrolling through some of that, and I was scrolling through a couple other things that I had looked up just to jog my memory. And yesterday I mentioned Game 5, Cardinals-Phillies. The Phillies lose 1-0. Ryan Howard grounds out at the end of that game, blows out his Achilles, and then he was never the same Ryan Howard after that. I looked at all these different playoff series. I went back to like 1980 in the Super Bowl and the Eagles getting blown out 27-10 back then. I went back. I looked at the Fog Bowl, like all these other playoff performances. A little bit more recently, with the Eagles, Donovan McNabb's interception to Rondé Barber in the NFC Championship game where the Eagles could have went on to beat the Raiders and won the Super Bowl. Like, there were so many different games. The playoffs with the Flyers most recently, barely being able to get, or not, barely being able to get out of the first round over the last 10 years. Awful, absolutely awful. But I looked at all these different playoff performances and how disappointing they were. And I went to like Joe Carter and Mitch Williams. And I've talked to Mitch about that pitch so many times to Joe Carter. And it was like an 86-mile-per-hour pitch. And I know some people thought he threw him a slider or whatever. And it was like, no, that was his fastball. That's all he had left. He was dead. His arm was done at that point. But Mitch at least tried. Ron Jaworski in the Super Bowl in 1980 tried. Randall Cunningham in the second half of the Fog Bowl tried. Like, all these crashes. Claude Giroux against the Rangers tried. All these playoff losses, these playoff implosions, every single guy tried. Ben Simmons hid from the moment. And because of all that, I look at the performance he had in this past postseason, especially against the Atlanta Hawks, and I go, wow, in one half of the game, meaning the offensive side of it, it was get the hell away from me. Just whoever I can give this ball away to, please do something with it, because I am terrified to have this ball in my hand right now. And 13 assists in the game. That's incredible. What a great facilitator. Really? When you're deferring the basketball every single time, guess what you're going to do? You're going to luck into assists. Like, I don't think people understand how easy it is to get an assist in the NBA nowadays. Like, you could be coming up the floor like Ben Simmons. You could have Tobias Harris standing on the wing, and as you're coming up, you dish it to him, and as long as he catches and goes in motion to the basket and shoots, even if it's a layup, Ben Simmons gets credit for the assists.